not possible to understand anything about the U.S. economy anymore without thinking first about globalization. Take the housing crisis and the problems it's causing financial institutions. Some people think that this is just a matter of what's happening in the U.S. and how we managed our regulation of mortgages. It's really much bigger than that. It really goes back to the globalization of the capital pool. All this capital being released around the world and a lot of it channeling to the United States. Well, when it got to the United States, the only way financial institutions can make a profit on that capital is to lend it out. So they started lending it out to people who normally they wouldn't have lent it out to. That's why 5 years ago, 4% of mortgages were subprime, and in 2006, 26% of mortgages were subprime. It's not a surprise, it's just the way the market worked when there was so much capital, and there's so much capital because of globalization. And in fact, the housing bubble that we're experiencing, that's also a result of globalization. We know that because it's not just happening here, it's happened in England, it's happened in Spain, it's happened in Australia, it's happened in France, it's happened in most countries of the world. And the reason is we have all this capital floating around the world, but globalization is holding down prices because it intensifies competition. You don't have to be a monetary economist to see that if you've got all this capital and it can't come out in higher prices for most goods, it's got to come out somewhere else. And where it came out is bubbles in assets, in housing, in art, in the stock market, which has been twice as volatile, not only here, but in every major country over the last 10 years than it was in the 20 years before. So the next problem we have, before we think about what the Congress has done or what the President has done, the first question to ask is, how did globalization play a part in this?